So I wanted to go over some news that transpired about a day ago. Yes, I'm talking about Carlos Correa. Now here's the original tweet by our buddy, our pal, and our friend Jeff Passan. He was on it as always. Breaking: shortstop Carlos Correa and the Minnesota Twins are finalizing a 6-year, $200 million contract. Said the deal is a vesting option that could max out at $270 million. At that time, it was still pending a physical. Now, although there were major concerns regarding that physical, which is the reason why we could not, get the deal done with the Giants, then with the Mets. According to Jon Heyman, that problem has been solved. It was solved. The major part of Correa's physical is complete, including the ankle issue. There's nothing foreseen to stop Correa's return to the Twins. Now I wanted to go over the details of this 6-year contract. Correa's contract with the Twins includes an $8 million signing bonus. He will get $32 million for the years 2023, 2024. He'll get $36 million for 2025, $31.5 million for 2026, $30.5 million for 2027, and $30 million flat for 2028. Also, he mentioned Correa received a full no trade clause, and that is the entirety of that 6-year deal. I wanted to recap Carlos Correa's free agency saga from the very beginning because I found this really interesting. This was from Bleacher Report. On November 7th, he opted out of his original 3-year deal with the Twins. Then, on December 13th, he agreed to a 13-year, $350 million deal with the Giants. That fell through. Then, a couple weeks later, not even 2 weeks, he agreed to a 12-year, $315 million deal with the Mets. And then yesterday, he agreed to a 6-year, $200 million deal flat with the Minnesota Twins. Another fascinating tweet by Heyman. He also briefly breaks down how the deal fell apart with the New York Mets. He said, a source told the Post the Mets were willing to fully guarantee 6 years at $157.5 million, but the final 6 of the reported 12 years would have been only conditionally guaranteed. So, Correa will make $42.5 million more in this new deal with the Twins in relation to what would have transpired with the Mets. So basically, aside from the physical, the two parties couldn't agree upon the particular language that the contract set out. And now when it comes to my opinion, I think it's a steal for the Twins and a major disappointment and loss for Correa. If you think about it, Correa has accepted 2 of the lowest deals he has ever been offered in his free agency, dating back to last year. And they both came from the same team, the Minnesota Twins. In 2021, Correa was offered $275 million by the Tigers, which he declined, and then he eventually signed with the Twins for 3 years at $105.3 million. Then, of course, this year, allegedly he was in agreement with the Giants on a 13-year, $350 million deal. That fell through. And he was in agreement with the Mets on a 12-year, $315 million deal. That, once again, fell through, which led him to eventually agree to this reported and now finalized deal with the Twins for $200 million. Just crazy stuff. I've never seen a free agent go through this many ups and downs when it comes to trying to find a home. I mean, Correa screwed himself. He could have signed with my Tigers. No, you go to Minnesota, you're going to be up there. They're not going to be able to beat the Guardians. And if they do somehow beat the Guardians, they'll meet the Yankees in the playoffs and they'll get demolished by Aaron Judge and the rest of the Yankees organization, and they'll be at the laughingstock of the AL Central. And now next, speaking of my Tigers, they have finally made a big move. That is to move Comerica Park dimensions. Yeah, the Tigers announced they are adjusting the dimensions at Comerica Park in 2023. The Tigers will be moving in the center field wall from 422 feet to 412 feet and lower the height of the wall from 8.5 feet to 7 feet. Also, the massive wall in right center field above the out-of-town scoreboard will be lowered from 13 feet to 7 feet in height. Finally, right field wall will be lowered to the same height, 8.5 feet to 7 feet. Now, although left field will be unchanged, they found that after research and laser measuring, the left field corner dimensions have been incorrect and now corrected 345 feet to 342 feet. Also, I have to note that in here they say they moved the center field wall from 422 feet to 412 feet. Actually, it's 420. in center field. That's what it was. Now look, Comerica Park has historically had issues with the dimensions. It was wrong when they built the thing in 2000. It's still wrong, you know, almost 22 years later, and now when it comes to them just making this move, I like it. Miggy loves it. I know my dad loves it. He's been talking about this forever, that they need to change the dimensions in center field. Again, Scott Harris, the VP, said they found that, you know, a majority of fly balls that would have been out at any other ballpark in the majors, in center field in particular, were, you know, just in front of or at the warning track for outs. So hopefully that will benefit Correa, Torkelson, Riley Green, Baez. Hopefully they should move in left field as well, in my opinion. But hey, I'm glad that they're, you know, finally making Comerica Park a hitter-friendly ballpark. Now it looks like the Padres have finally got their guy as they inked Nelson Cruz to a 1-year, $1 million deal. Now, if you're wondering why it's only $1 million, it's mainly due to the insane dip in production Cruz had last year with the Nationals. Now, Cruz, he's 42. He spent last season in Washington, and he hit 10 home runs, 64 RBIs, and posted a .234 batting average. So when it comes to how he'll fit in San Diego, it looks like he will split time at DH with also newly acquired Matt Carpenter. Now, next, according to John Heyman, the Dodgers have acquired Miguel Rojas from the Marlins. Now, the Marlins will be receiving Jacob Amia, who was ranked 15th in the LA farm system. Now, last year, Amia combined for 17 home runs and 71 RBIs between AA and AAA. However, he is 24 years old. It's a little older for a guy who's not made his Major League debut quite yet. Now we finally have an official word on the status of Trevor Bauer. It says the Dodgers announced on Thursday that they have unconditionally released Trevor Bauer, who recently finished serving a 194-game suspension for violating MLB and MLBPA's joint inappropriate adult behavior policy. Now the transaction comes 1 week after Bauer was designated for assignment by the Dodgers. Now, because he was not traded before being released, the Dodgers are still on the hook for $22.5 million. They're going to pay Trevor Bauer whether he signs with the team or not. No surprise here. I basically reported that, you know, Trevor Bauer got released by the Dodgers a week ago. People were mad at me, saying that, you know, it wasn't official and I was clickbaiting, but I guess they can all call me psychic now because I just predicted the future. But in all seriousness, I believe he's the best remaining free agent out there on the market. First, when it comes to his overall value on the diamond as a right-handed pitcher, and when it comes to the amount of money it will take to nab him off the free agent market, which is, again, the league minimum. Whoever gets Bauer, highway robbery steal. And again, I don't want to hear any about how he brings bad clubhouse chemistry and he's a bad influence. I'm sorry, you're running ball clubs here, not safe spaces. If he's good, he can pitch, he can help a contender, maybe the Twins, you never know. I mean, do it. Now finally, let's go over 2 one-year deals that have transpired. The Blue Jays signed Brandon Belt to a 1-year deal that is said to be worth $9.3 million, and the Angels signed Brett Phillips to a 1-year deal. The amount is unknown. And that's all I got. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts, and I'll catch you guys later.